It's Halloween time, so let's see how I can make a beautiful mobile, starting with little stickers that I picked up at a dollar store, put together into little forms, how I hung them, and how I made the beautiful mobile. Side 1 for these, and look at what side 2 looks like. I will show you how I make these, and I hope you enjoy seeing this project from start to finish. Hello, this is Anna. I'm going to try to show you the full steps in getting a project done just by showing you bits and pieces as I go along. First off is the resin. Mine, read the instructions, is a 1-to-1 ratio. So I've marked my container at 50 and then I marked it at 100. So I put part A as 50, part B is 100, and now I need to stir. Now I'm not going to show you this because I have to stir it between 3 to 5 minutes to get it fully stirred. You do it slowly. Try not to make any more bubbles than absolutely necessary. So that's all for this step. Now the project I'm going to be doing is Halloween. As you see, I've already got some little figures set in the molds, ready to go. I'm going to show you how I did one of them and put it in the final mold. The next thing I'm going to show you is, because these are 3-dimensional molds that have spots and they're on both sides, which is how I wanted them to be, I'm going to have to coat one side, the side that's going to go down into the mold first, to make sure I don't trap any air bubbles. I'll show you how I do that. I've got my resin mixed. It's setting for a few minutes to get rid of some of the other bubbles. So I will show you what I have done with my minor one here. I got this nice little sticker pack, and I found 2 of them that same size, kind of alike. The eyeballs facing about the same way, so I'm checking to make sure the eyeballs kind of lined up. Put it together. Now when I set it in the mold, it does not matter which way you look at it, you will have an eyeball. And as I said before, I need part of it covered in resin so it does not have any bubbles once it gets into the mold. So for that, take a very cheap brush. You can get those at the dollar store, pound store, whichever. Little clear resin, and just simply paint it. And in doing so, you will cover any dips that might want to hold a bubble. Just a nice layer of resin. And it will self layer itself out. So at this point you will have a smooth surface once you put it into the mold. Now I've got several of these to do, but I'm not going to show you all of them, just show you the one. It can now be set aside and left to dry. Hello, back again for the next step. Last time you saw that I put epoxy on the top of these to cover up any little holes. Now what I didn't tell you is where I learned this little step from Paul, back bedroom art on YouTube. He's the one that got me started and still has been giving me lots of good tips on what to do, so I don't make the same mistakes he does. So the next step is actually to put these little critters in the molds. So pour just a little bit in the bottom of the molds. That is to keep the little figures from actually touching the end of the mold so they're actually in the resin once it's done. You don't need a lot, just enough to kind of cover underneath the items. And I don't need to show you how I pour all of these, so I'll put myself on pause. All right, we've got a little bit of epoxy or resin in each of the ones. So make sure that the side that I've already coated is the one that goes down. Place them inside the molds. And as I stated before, I have places where there'll be holes. So you want to line these up so they're will look correct once they're strung. Just set them down in. One step I didn't show you, but I have shown you earlier, is I did go ahead and use the heat gun to get rid of any of the bubbles in the bottom. Okay, you don't need, again, to see me do all of this. So I'll hold off on putting the others in and show you on these now that we've got the little sticker figures in. I will finish filling up the molds to the top level. Clean up my drips. And center. And use the stick to kind of fill up any holes. They're going to want to float a bit. Get them back to being centered and pretty. Next step is, again, use the heat gun to make sure you get rid of any bubbles. And then it's sit and cure time, anywhere from 24 to 48 hours, depending on the conditions. So we'll be back once they're set, and I'll show you taking them out of the molds. A quick look at the finished pieces. They are now cured in the mold and ready to come out. And on to the next step, how I strung them up. Hello, got my Halloween ornaments here, and we're going to want to hang them. There are several ways we can do this. We can hang them individually, just one at a time. I can hang them so they hang down this way. I can string them so they hang across this way. So whatever way you want to do it, you can use the clear jewelry wire. I again have my little ribbon. Purple's a good Halloween color, so that's what I'm going to use. But it's such a tiny, tiny little hole to try to get this ribbon in. So I'm going to use my little handy dandy threader. Let's see if you can see it. It's got the wire here. So basically, put the threader through the hole, thread the ribbon through that wire section, and pull, and you've got it threaded. Now if I want to hang individually, I would simply cut, knot that off, I can tie it. If I wanted to hang them up and down, again, thread through. Pull. So you got two. Tie this off and then stack as many as you want. If you wanted them to go side by side, then go through the top here again. Ribbon, pull, and they will hang side by side. Actually, what I was thinking in doing that, you may want to, if we're going side by side, to keep them in place so they don't go back and forth, is double wrap it so it's kind of knotted in spot. Go back to the top. Run it through. Back in again. My eyes won't let me see them. Oh, there we go. So this way, they won't go sliding. They'll hold the distance you want to keep them from each other. And now you've got them hanging. So whichever way you want to put your ornaments in, one, hang them up, down, or hang them side by side. Use any material you want. Just wanted to give you a good idea of what to do. I will go ahead and string a bunch of these together the way I want to do it, and I'll show you the finished product. And now you get to see the final result of the project, my little Halloween characters. What I did is I took an extra wind chime piece and decided to hang all of the little ornaments off of the wind chime piece, strung them up on the lovely ribbon to give them lovely different colors. So this way they float, they move around. I will find my permanent place in my house for them and put up a hook and let it sit there. So this is an idea, gives you a starting point. If you don't want to do Halloween, pick your favorite stickers, put them into the molds, and you can make your own little artwork, your little mobile to hang wherever you want. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like what you see, subscribe to my channel. It helps. Thank you very much. Have a good Halloween. Bye.